There is a new proposal on the negotiating table. State lawmakers from both parties agree that more relief should be provided to households that are financially struggling. This relief may arrive in the form of either one-time payments or recurring checks, but with the latest proposal, experts say the wealthy would benefit more. My dear friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video to hear about all of the details. Also, every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways.
Mr. Schweikert, thank you. Let me begin by saying thank you for coming. You've been a great champion of these budgetary issues, and I know you've got a chart there. And
yeah, it needs to be a chart. Look, I'll do this actually fairly quickly because I'm a bit of a heretic here. The budget process, the mechanisms, the complexities don't work. Fine. But that's not the primary driver of U.S. sovereign debt. Every dime, a U.S. sovereign debt from today through the next 30 years comes from two places. Its healthcare cost is number one, and this slide's already a year out of date. If you factor in the new interest rates, that top line could be as high as $130 trillion of borrowing over the next 30 years. Now, that's not inflation adjusted, but just understand today, Social Security is number one. Gross interest is now over $1 trillion, so it's number two. Medicare now is number three. Defense is now number four. On the chart here is in 8.5 years, 9 years, Social Security has about a $600 billion shortfall. Even if you do what the left has suggested of raise the caps, a couple other things, in our best, we're working on modeling the math, it's still short. It still does not cover the shortfall. But even if you did what the left suggests of just raise all these taxes, you've now just taken away, functionally, you're now maximizing out your tax rates to, anyone, it's the concepts of the Laffer curve. You've maximized tax rates, you have no more capacity. And once again, healthcare is 3/4 of the borrowing over the next 3 decades. So almost everything people like me will come to this microphone and talk about of changing this in the process, doing a better job of this or that. Over the next couple decades, it's a rounding error. And that's really hard and really uncomfortable because the scale of the math is so difficult. A few months ago, the Joint Economic Committee Republicans we decided we would step on the landmine and talk about something we can do. I've tagged it. I'm going to give this to you, ask you to put it in the record, and who knows, maybe you'll have a staffer that will actually look at it. Chapter 3 of the Joint Economic Report talked about obesity in America. Turns out it's a few trillion, and if you add in some of the economic effects, could be 7 trillion over 10 years in savings and economic vitality and second degree, third degree, fourth degree effects. And it's also moral. If you take a look at some of the data right now, we may be about to enter into the 5th year of life expectancy in the United States becoming shorter. There's some data in there that shows one of the most powerful things you could do for income inequality for my tribal populations, rural populations, urban populations, actually is not transfers of money. It turned out it wasn't even education, though education was way up there. It was health. We are financing, and this is where I become a heretic, and I'm sorry it's uncomfortable, but we finance through nutrition support programs the way we do them, or the way we do agricultural policy, the way we do these things. You got to look at the base numbers. We're making ourselves sicker, and it's the driver of the debt. And with that, I yield back.
thank you, Mr. Schweikert. The chair will now welcome Mr. Timmons.
Wisconsin state lawmakers are considering legislation that would expand child tax credits for qualifying families, although the proposal has already drawn flack from critics who say it mostly benefits wealthy households. The tax credit was included in a larger bill passed this week by the Republican-controlled Wisconsin Senate. The bill includes a $2 billion income tax cut as part of a package that also targets child care costs. Under the Senate proposal, the maximum benefit a qualifying Wisconsin family would receive from the expanded state child tax credit is $4,000 for 2 or more children. An analysis of the proposal found that to qualify for the full $4,000 credit, a family would have to have 2 children in child care, costing $20,000 a year, and a taxable annual income of $85,000. A family spending $10,000 a year for child care for 1 child must have an income of approximately $50,000. According to the Examiner, the tax credit would allow both families to avoid paying any state income tax. This would wipe out the $2,152 in taxes that the $50,000 family owes, as well as the $4,000 of the tax bill that the $85,000 family owes. There is also a new proposal in Ohio that aims to put more money in the pockets of families with children. The Thriving Families Tax Credit was recently introduced in the Ohio House. Families may receive up to $1,000 for each child younger than 6 years old, and $500 per child ages 6 to 17. Supporters say it would provide tax relief to families who need it. Families earning less than $65,000 annually would qualify for the full benefit amount, and this is according to the sponsors. Benefits would phase out for families earning between $65,000 and $85,000 annually. The bill sponsors believe about 1.8 million children would benefit from this tax credit. They say 13 other states currently have state-level child tax credits, including Idaho, Utah, New Mexico, and Vermont. Also, friends, there is some big news on the economy. According to Yahoo News, the U.S. consumer prices unexpectedly rose in November, but the report from the Labor Department also showed prices for used vehicles and trucks rebounded last month after 5 straight monthly decreases. U.S. consumers also paid more for health care and motor vehicle insurance. The slightly firmer inflation readings followed data last Friday, showing job gains accelerated in November, and the unemployment rate fell to 3.7%. Food prices rose 0.2% after gaining 0.3% in October. Grocery food prices ticked up once again, 0.1%, amid rises in the cost of cereals and bakery products, as well as fruits and vegetables. However, meat, fish, and eggs cost a little less. Overall, inflation remains above the Fed's 2% target. Following the data, financial markets continue to push back expectations of a rate cut to May from March. The Fed watches the pace of inflation closely, and it's a key data point used in deciding whether to raise, maintain, or cut interest rates. But the Fed is expected to leave rates unchanged, with economists confident that its policy tightening campaign is now over. The central bank has raised its policy rate by 525 basis points to the current 5.25% to 5.5% range since March 2022. However, rental inflation could moderate considerably next year. This is as a rental vacancy rate increased to more than a 2-year high in the third quarter, and there is a large stock of apartment buildings in the pipeline. Separately, home prices have continued to set record highs amid housing affordability constraints. Home prices are not expected to cool off anytime soon. Goldman Sachs housing economists estimate that prices will appreciate 1.8% and 2.9% over the next 2 years amid low supply. So, dear friends, how is the housing market doing in your city or town? Well, my awesome and amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. My dear friends, thank you so much for being part of this community. To say thank you for being part of this community, every Friday I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos, and then do comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Thank you, and have a wonderful and very blessed week.